Hello, again, thank you very much for inviting us to come to this event, and congratulations both on the opening of the Institute and how the day's been going. What I want to do in the brief time that I have is explain why occupational safety and health and the European Agency for Occupational Safety and Health is interested in gender matters, why it's important, and therefore why we look for a close synergy with yourselves. Basically, the issues are that it's important to mainstream gender into occupational safety and health, but it's also important to mainstream occupational safety and health into gender as well. You can't start looking at women and women's health and cancer, for example, without looking at occupational cancers. So therefore, and then finally I want to say a bit more about how we could work together and how we can develop that relationship. So similar to, well, basically we're an information agency. Our aim is to improve working conditions in the European Union by providing technical, scientific and economic information to people involved in safety and health at work. We also have a tripartite board, and the social partnership involvement is extremely important in the area of health and safety, and well established as a cornerstone of developing policies and good practices in that area. We coordinate with the member states through focal points in each member state, which are normally the institution or ministry responsible for safety and health at work. We're based in Bilbao, and our website is our main method of disseminating our information. So, the reason, the European Union policy agenda provides the context for our work on gender and cooperation between occupational safety and health and gender equality. As we've heard this morning, the Lisbon objectives set goals for creating quality jobs for women, and quality includes occupational safety and health. And equal treatment at work also includes equal treatment in the area of occupational safety and health. Following on from European Union gender equality agenda, the European Community Strategy for Safety and Health at Work in 2002 first introduced the need to take account specifically of gender issues in occupational safety and health at the European policy strategy area, and highlighted the importance of mainstreaming. The latest community strategy in occupational safety and health that runs through to 2012 keeps the importance of gender on the agenda and highlights diversity in general as a priority for occupational safety and health. So, occupational safety and health legislation is neutral, but it has various principles and requirements in it that require risk assessments, and within that to take preventative measures, and within that taking account of sensitive groups. And there's a general requirement or principle of adapting work and work equipment, etc., to the worker. So therefore, gender comes in there. Previously, health and safety legislation was often discriminatory. So women were excluded from working with lead, for example. They're excluded from working down the mines. And for those men, the men left doing those jobs, it did nothing to improve the jobs at all. They remained dirty and dangerous. Now it's moved on. The legislation's neutral, and there's a big misunderstanding that that's not the same, necessarily the same as equality. So mainly people will say, oh, but we've got health and safety legislation completely correct because it's neutral, so it can't discriminate. And then you start to explain, well, if men have more accidents, women have more occupational ill health problems, you set the priorities for health and safety based on where most accidents are occurring. That's directly having an indirect discriminatory effect. But then people start getting uncomfortable about this. So we have a lot of issues there in taking the agenda forward. The other thing I've noticed as well, when we're setting our own work programs or having debates, if you mention, let's have a project on older workers, yeah, very good. Let's have a project on disability and occupational safety and health. Very good, no issue. Let's do a project on gender and occupational safety and health. And then, yes, then, I don't see why, and why is an issue, and no. So it's, there's quite a few issues for us going on there. Now, I'm not very good at, So as I was mentioning, I'll go back one. Quickly, in 2004, we published a study, the first study on gender and occupational safety and health, and we looked at, just very briefly, what the differences were between men and women, the risks they faced, and their health outcomes. So as I mentioned, men are more likely to have accidents, women are more likely to suffer occupational health issues. And a large amount of the reasons for that is down to gender segregation, men and women working in different jobs, and of course not only horizontal segregation between different sectors, but also vertical segregation plays a role in the direct role in occupational safety and health, risks faced and outcomes. So I'll skip over this one just to say there's a lot of influences on, finally, health and safety at work. One of the things we've also done is produced a fact sheet on how to make the main obligation under health and safety legislation, risk assessment, more gender sensitive. And that basically includes some simple things like including women's jobs when you carry out your risk assessment. So if you carry out a manual handling risk assessment, are you looking at the cleaners, as well as are you looking at the men at work lifting? And then consulting women about their health and safety issues in their jobs. Have you talked to the women cleaners about the risks they face? Yeah. And I like to show this picture because one of the issues about health and safety work is not to make assumptions about who's facing most risks. And again, this tells quite a story. Probably the woman on top is the wife of a farmer. If she's the wife, she doesn't have an employment contract. That means if she has an accident, that accident doesn't get registered as an occupational safety and health accident. So she's not on the statistics. So there's lots of effects there also in health and safety at work.